I don't care if he was a 10-time DPOY. Dog, you're not guarding this one for 48 minutes.
To beat the Nuggets, I think the Timberwolves are doing what they need to do. You don't stop Jokic. You try to contain everyone else.
I want to know, because we've been giving people a lot of flack for this. Did we count out our man Nikola Jokic a little too soon? I don't know if y'all saw that last game. I saw that last game. I sat in here. My God, he gave Rudy Gobert the biz naive. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets win the last game, and they play right now to try to finish the series, right? To try to
Denver's trying to finish the series.
Last game though, Nikola Jokic, 40 points, 13 assists, 2 steals, a block, 0 turnovers. I think that's like the first time that's happened in NBA history since, black and white television. 68% from the field, 67% from 3. Some of the moves that he was giving not Jamal Murray, but Nikola Jokic was honestly disgusting. And there's been a lot of debate about what you can do to guard this and how to play it and all that. But I like to defer to the professionals and give it up for real.
I got 2 things of why this series ain't coming back to Minnesota. Number one, the big Frenchman is sitting on that podium speaking his native language. We need to do this. You need to get a stop. It ain't we. Karl Anthony Towns is actually doing a pretty good job when he's on Joker. It's you, my man, that's getting cooked. So it's no we. Now, yes, you do need help from the other guys, but on some of those, help can't help you. Like, you just got to get a stop. So that's number one. Number 2, when you're in these playoff series, for me, I'm always looking for the smallest ounce of weakness that I can find. And the way Karl Anthony Towns walked off that floor with the limp after he played the rest of that game totally fine, and then he could barely walk leaving the court, they don't believe anymore. And when you lose belief, this defending champions you're playing against, when you lose the belief, it's over. And they don't believe they can win anymore, which means this series is over.
From my understanding, Draymond isn't even getting paid to do this. He is just up there. He was just
exposure.
He was in Atlanta with the suit on. I want to ask before we go into is this series over talks. The way that Nikola Jokic is playing, how do you stop this?
I don't know how you stop the greatest offensive player of all time. Maybe that's a discussion we need to have. Yeah.
It's as a guy who spent an hour today watching defensive film on 2 different great defensive bigs guard Jokic, and how teams around those bigs guard Jokic, it's a noticeable difference. And I'm speaking on AD versus Rudy. When AD was guarding Jokic, he dared him to shoot, and it was a lot more help from other guys. A lot more guys diving down, poking in, reaching in, slapping at the ball, making it tough for Jokic to try to work in the post. So he had to settle for a lot of jumpers. Now, he was hitting a lot of bullshit, but you live with that. And he definitely had a noticeably different series against the Lakers than he is against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, man, this is looking like when Jimmy Butler had Drew Holiday on the island and was just working them, and everybody just sitting there like, hey, gang, you got to stop him. Like, hey, stop the nigga. Like, Rudy is getting – it's some possessions where it's just good offense beats good defense. Like, it's just you live with it. You hit a tough shot. You did the most you could do. I counted it 10 to 12 times where it was just Rudy overbiting, overreacting to a move, just getting flat out beat. Just flat out beat. But there is no help. The way you guard a guy like Jokic is A, you get physical with him. You don't allow him to get comfortable and dictate where we're going in the post. And you need help. Oh my God, he just hit a 3 double team. I'm sorry. You need help. You have to have guys come off and help to get the ball out of his hands. He's a dominant player. And so say, hey, the greatest offensive player of all time, man. You need to have help. There is no playing him one-on-one and just thinking good things are going to happen, because it's not. He's going to bust your ass. And now we're seeing it from Rudy Gobert. I'm saying Ruby because ain't no D. There's no D. He might have 4 defense player of the years. Ain't none of the motherfuckers showing up right now to help stop Jokic.
For me, as the person that has dealt with nothing but pain and despair when it comes to guarding or trying to guard Nikola Jokic, one, Damo is right. You do need to be physical with him. Obviously, 2020 is what a lot of Laker fans will point to, but this is not the same guy. However, even this season and this series, we saw certain nights where Anthony Davis was doing a fantastic job on him. However, Damo also said as well he wasn't alone. For me, why these conversations are happening right now is because when I'm looking at Rudy Gobert, not only is he alone, but to add on a separate point, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this, but Rudy Gobert is a little too shifty for me. He's trying to like move a lot in the post, even while being back down, and it's kind of giving Jokic the option to kind of just pick and choose when he wants to put the ball up. Like he's trying to anticipate where Jokic is going to go, and you can't do that. You literally, if you're trying to anticipate where guys like Jokic, hell, fuck this greatest offensive player of all time talk, KD, Luka, Steph, you try to anticipate where they're going with the ball, they're going to fool you. You're going to get cooked one-on-one. That's why you need help most of the time, so you limit where they can go to increase your chance of said anticipation if you're going to play defense that way. But there was also a reason why a lot of people thought initially that Karl Anthony Towns would be the guy to be on Jokic, and that's a separate conversation because he was giving Cat the business too. But in general, I think the Timberwolves, and we're watching them right now, beat the shit out of them live on playback. But I think they just need to help more, to be honest. I know that sounds lazy, but I don't know if it's media. I don't know if it's belief in Rudy Gobert. I think their fucking eyes are on 4-time DPOY, and they're just letting him die out there, dog. And I don't care if he was a 10-time DPOY, dog. You're not guarding this nigga one-on-one for 48 minutes. You're not doing it.
Guys, the NBA playoffs are
Heating up,
and I am excited to bring to you Prize Picks, the best way to play daily fantasy sports. All you're going to do is download the app, go to the website, and then you're going to select your players and make some picks. I'm going to go Evan Mobley, more on points, easy one. And I'm going to go Devin Booker, less on his PRA. I'm going to put some money in, $1 million. I'm going to go ahead and hit place entry.
And if you use code LKIB, Prize Picks will match up to 100% on your first deposit up to $100.
Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. Bezos, let me ask you this. What do we think the outcome of this series is? Because especially after the first two games, and we're watching this one live, so it's a little bit, but after watching the first two games, you know, it was real belt to acidry.
Yep.
For the next three games, though, Denver really, really bought it to them. Specifically, Nikola Jokic. What is this? This is game 3, 24, 14-9, 3 steals, 3 blocks. They win the game, of course. The next game, which is game 4, he gives them 35, 7, 7, 3 steals, a block. And then again, this last game was the 40 point triple. Was it a triple double? 40-point trip dub or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or almost triple double. 13 assists, 7 boards, 2 steals, no turnovers. How do we see this going on? How do we see anybody stopping what's going on with Jokic?
I'm gonna keep it a stack. I think this does go. Well, looking at the score right now, I do think hopefully this goes to 7. But going to Denver, I just think Denver is. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to the proven team. Not to say that Minnesota can't beat them on the road, because obviously they've proven that. But in Game 7, if I had to put money on it, I am betting the Denver Nuggets on that game. But to answer the question of how to stop Jokic, and honestly to answer your question as well, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I think Minnesota's game plan is the way. This is not the way you go about stopping Jokic, but this is the way you go about stopping the Nuggets, in my opinion. Because I think there's certain offensive weapons in history where it is so hard to guard them. Just let them cook. I think the most recent example for me is 2014 or 2018 LeBron. There's just so much, like, the coverage, like, there's not much you can do to stop a guy like that. But what you can do is stop a J.R. Smith. What you can do is try to contain a Chris Bosh. What you can do is try to contain a D. Wade. Again, all easier said than done. But I really think when I'm watching these games, the difference makers is when Aaron Gordon goes 90% from the field. The difference maker is when Jamal Murray is scoring 30 points out there and hitting crazy shots and getting open looks because you're overhelping on Jokic. So to me, to beat the Nuggets, I think the Timberwolves are doing what they need to do. You don't stop Jokic. You try to contain everyone else.
What about for like the Mavs? Or the Mavs or the Thunder? Do we see a chance there? Do we see your Celtics have a chance there?
Yeah. I have full confidence in my team. Come
There
on,
you
dog.
go.
I don't know. I just think defensively, the Celtics specifically offers it will be the best offense they faced in the last 2 years, in my opinion. Pretty wide margin, and then the Mavs and the Thunder as well. Whoever comes out of there, up until that point, would be the best offense that the Nuggets would be facing up until that point. But yeah, I think this team is beatable. To be honest with you, we are in the parity age. This team is not unbeatable, even though they go on stretches where it feels like that. But nah, this is a good series.
We'll take a pair of these two fighting. One of your guys, Doc Rivers.
Oh, hold on real quick. Before we move on, I gotta say something, man, because I've noticed something on Twitter. I've noticed something in chats or whatever. Dog, when we talk about this series, and obviously me and Damo, it's bitter Laker fans, we're gonna talk our shit whenever they lose. I'm tired of Denver Nuggets fans or Denver Nuggets discourse acting like you're the underdog. Bro, not even remotely. Not even remotely. Breezos' point right now, watching them lose 22 points on playback for free, by the way. The idea that a lot of people will then run to the table and say that, oh yeah, man, y'all keep sleeping on Denver. Y'all keep acting like we're not this team. All that. Bro, nobody thinks that y'all not him. In fact, everybody thinks that you guys are the odds-on favorite in 99.9% of conversations. It's just something that I just randomly get off. I'm starting to see it a lot about this like victim Nuggets discourse. I think it's the nastiest shit possible.
Literally, the narrative right now is Celtics are cool, but if they face the Nuggets, good luck. Like, all right, dog.
But if they face the Nuggets, good luck. In Game 7, even though they're getting their ass kicked, I got the Nuggets. Luka, hey, you can't stop Luka, but you really can't stop Jokic. We got Bezos calling him the greatest offensive player of all time, and then simultaneously, a team will beat them once or twice, talk a little shit, and now they're the underdog. That's not how that works. Please stop, bro.